my God, please, everybody calm down. Hold your applause. Hey y'all, how's it going? It's me, Only Black Girl here, checking into your screens. How y'all doing? Y'all doing good? All right. So yes, y'all saw the title. I'm about to talk about something that really has been getting on my nerves. And I joined TikTok a few months ago, finally. TikTok is wild. I still don't really understand what the fuck is happening on that clock app. Y'all have fun. I just be posting my little things and be going, I'm probably gonna get banned at some point because they really hate black people on that app. I've been seeing this conversation in the adoption community come up, and I personally have thoughts about this myself. I've been talking about it a lot of TikTok, and the responses that I've been getting have been very interesting and really just have been proving my point. Fostering to adopt is strange to me. Now, I do want to put out a disclaimer and say that I am not a foster child. I was not in the foster care system. My experience with foster care has been that my family have fostered before. So I know it from that end of it, from the fostering end of it. I can't speak to as being a foster child. There are a lot of folks out there who are foster children, who are adoptees, who are speaking on that experience. Go seek them out, go follow them, they're great. But the point that I wanted to talk about really doesn't even have to do with the fostering itself. It just has to do with the system of fostering and adoption in general. My point that I have always tried to make about fostering is that the goal of fostering should always be reunification. And I feel like y'all conveniently like to leave out the fact that I said goal. Okay, the goal should always be reunification. I'm not stupid. I know that that is not always going to be the case. I know that there are kids that are in terrible, abusive homes. Matter of fact, my brother, the one who just finalized his foster to adopt, that child, literally, I believe she was about 6 months when they got her, and she had 8 broken bones. She was a baby, months old, and she had multiple broken bones. Those are types of situations that I absolutely understand that we're not giving that child back. But even in that situation, because they live in Wisconsin is a, I guess, reunification driven state. So even in that situation, mother was still able to make a case to get her back. And I am not opposed to that because the goal should always be reunification. And this is where I have a problem with a lot of foster families, because a lot of foster families are selfish and entitled, and they don't think about the fact that they're literally taking somebody else's child and then refusing to give them back. One of the biggest issues that fostering and really adoption also in America is not really federally regulated. There are like some federal rules, but for the most part, most of the stuff that you're going to deal with comes down to the state. For example, the state where my brother is in, Wisconsin, is a very pro-reunification state. But there are other states that don't give a shit if that child ever goes back. Where I'm from, Washington, is also a pretty big reunification state. Like, there are some states that have very strict rules and have a better process about trying to reunite that child with their family. And then there are some states that literally could not give less of a fuck if that child ever saw their family again. That, to me, is one of the biggest issues in the adoption and foster industries. We don't have any federal regulations. They're just letting the states do whatever the fuck that they want. And look at the state of our country. This is why we're dealing with Roe versus Wade being revoked right now, because we're leaving shit up to the states, and it's fucking insane. And with that, there are a lot of people that use fostering, specifically fostering to adopt, as like a trial period to see if they would actually like adopting. When I posted something about this on my TikTok, somebody left a comment saying that it's basically Amazon Prime for adoption. And I have never seen something more accurate in my life, because literally you will see these families that will foster kids and be like, yeah, I don't like their vibes. Send them back and bring me a new one. They're a little too difficult. They have too much trauma. Send them back. Give me a different one. And then they literally just keep doing this until they find one that they like. And that's the one that they're going to foster to adopt. And I just want to know what the fuck is wrong with y'all. I was scrolling the other day, I think on Facebook, and it actually, it was in Therapy for Black Girls. It was in their Facebook group, and they always have like these anonymous prompts that they will post. And somebody was like, I'm interested in adopting, but I wanted to know where I can get resources and to even like start thinking about that. And so many of the comments under it were like, well, just foster to adopt, foster to adopt, foster to adopt, foster. Fostering is not a fucking trial period for you to work out whether or not you want to adopt. You should be coming into fostering steadfast in what it is that you're doing. You cannot be coming in to fostering children who need a temporary home so that their family can get their shit together and get their child back with this teeter-tottery ass mindset. That's fucked up. Foster care is supposed to be, should be, some places it is, but in most places it's not. It's supposed to be a way that temporarily a child can be in a safe environment while their family, their parents, do what they need to do to create a safe environment for that child. However, on the flip side of that, we also have to remember that our system is manipulative and racist and classist as fuck. Period. So it's wild to me that so many kids get taken away from their parents for things like, I don't know, finances. And so you're taking somebody's child away because, let's say, they can't afford food, right? Now you're taking somebody's child away because they can't afford food, or maybe they don't have decent housing right now. So you take their child away. You then go give that child to a random ass stranger who probably already has several other foster children that they also are being financially burdened to carry. So you go put them in that home. You then pay that random stranger to raise somebody else's kid instead of just dedicating those resources that you're giving to a foster family to that birth family. You just rip their child away. Like, why is our system so garbage that we're funneling all these resources into giving strangers? Literally, people get paychecks. I don't even know. Do you guys know that people literally get paychecks to raise somebody else's child? That's why a lot of people do fostering. Vilification of fostering. We see it a lot in like Hollywood movies where it's like, oh, that abusive foster family that's just fostering these 700 kids because they get a monthly check. But that is a reality for a lot of people. I know a lot of foster kids where that was the reality. Matter of fact, my adopted brother, was one of those foster kids. He was forced to sleep outside in a box because she was getting a paycheck and she didn't give a shit about those kids. So you would rather go put and funnel all these resources. Foster families have so much fucking resources and support and backup. And you will go, our system, our country would rather go funnel all those resources into letting these strangers raise somebody else's kid instead of redistributing at least some of those resources to those families that you're taking children from. Like, it reminds me of that story where it was a while ago where that woman left her child in the car because Black single mother out of work. I want to say they were maybe homeless or going towards that direction or something like that. She was just somebody who was just in poverty, right? Like, she was real down bad on her luck, but she got a job interview and she couldn't find anybody to take care of her child. So she brought her child with her to the job interview and left her child in the car. She was arrested. The child was taken away from her, so on and so forth. Now, I'm not saying that she was right for that, but it's like force women, especially women of color, into these situations where they don't have any choice. Like, literally look at Roe versus Wade. You are now purposely creating an environment where so many people are going to be in that exact same situation because of these stupid ass laws and these dumb ass people that y'all have decided to put in office. Now you're forcing people to be in those situations where they don't have options, don't have decisions to make. And instead of funneling resources so that we can fix those issues so people don't have to be in those situations, instead your solution is, well, let's just take the kid, throw him with some random strangers and pay those strangers. Does that make sense to y'all? No. Because maybe I'm crazy, but that don't make no damn sense to me. I'm getting off topic. I'm going on a rant. But my point is that fostering should be a temporary system, right? It should be something that is there temporarily to help both parties, the child and the family, to get to a place where they can be reunited as a family, right? You are not entitled to somebody else's child. And I see so many when I posted this, I posted just like 2 days ago on my TikTok, and so many comments were like, well, it's just so hard to say goodbye. It's just, I got so sad. I don't want to say goodbye. It was hard on my kids. Then you're not cut out to be a foster parent. I understand that it can be emotional, especially for those of you who end up having these children in your care for maybe multiple years, right? You've basically raised this child, but that's still not your child, and you're not entitled to that child. You guys are not, nobody is entitled to a child. You're not. You're just not. I don't give a fuck what your situation is, especially those of you who like to use infertility as an excuse. You're still not entitled to a child. You're just not. Period. You're not entitled to somebody else's life. And you should not be getting into foster care if that is something that you cannot deal with. You cannot go into fostering with the mindset that I am here to provide a safe environment to help this child and their family be reunited at some point. Then you should not be fostering, because it should end there. The idea of adopting that child really should not even be on your mind. If that's something that ends up happening down the line, cool. But that should never be a goal. That should never be a goal of yours. If you want to adopt, baby, just go the adoption route. And a lot of y'all, because I don't know if many of you guys who haven't been this process before know, but a lot of times when you go through fostering to adopt, you avoid a lot of the hassle that comes with going the traditional adoption route, which also means avoiding a lot of those fees. So a lot of people like to use foster to adopt as a shortcut because it's cheaper. Again, is real grimy and manipulative as fuck, because you're literally just stealing somebody else's child. Like, can we just go back to the fact that adoption is just legalized human trafficking? Cool, but you just did it for free. Good for you, girl. The bottom line is, like, nobody is forcing y'all to get involved with adoption or fostering. You are doing that of your own free will. And I also need y'all to understand that you are the only person in this entire situation that is coming to the table of your own free will. The parent was not given a choice about having their child taken away, and nobody sure as fuck didn't ask the child if they wanted to be taken away, right? But you are the only person that came into this agreement willingly, freely, free of manipulation, free of any outside forces at work. You made the decision to come into fostering or adoption, whichever one it may be. So I'm pointing everything at you, because there are a million different factors that can get in the way of somebody being manipulated to give their child up for adoption or forcefully having a child taken away from them. And then let's not even get into the fact that kids are not given no options, no discussions, no explanations. We're just picked up and dropped in families, and then picked up and dropped in another fucking family, and just over and over. Nobody's asking us how we doing. Nobody's checking in on us. Nobody gives a fuck about how we're feeling in our trauma and anything that's going on with us. Nobody cares about us. But you want me to care that it's hard for you to say goodbye, girl? No, we're not doing that. Not here, not today, not now, not on this channel. That's it. I really just wanted to rant about that, because that's been getting on my nerves a lot, especially now that, I don't even know if y'all know this, but it's been a big thing in the adoption community since Roe v. Wade, that like people are literally shopping on social media for children to adopt.
Nothing says America like leaving business cards in the birth control section trying to acquire newborn babies to adopt.
Like, adoptees have people in our DMs that are like, hey, if you need anybody who's looking to give up their baby for adoption, we'll take them. And there are people, like, there are literal Facebook groups that are dedicated to giving away children or searching for children. And I just want to remind y'all, that is human trafficking. Purchasing babies through Facebook is human trafficking. I just want you to remember that. I'm gonna need y'all to get your fucking shit together. And also, if you see posts like that, report those. And I'm not talking just to Facebook. Call law enforcement.
Police! Police! Help! Police! Help! Police! Help!
That is illegal and disgusting and inhumane, and once again, human trafficking, and you guys are part of the problem and really should burn in the fiery pits of hell. But that's all for today. That's my rant for this week, y'all. As always, just get your shit together, do better, educate yourself, stop being trash. It's 2022. We're losing our fucking rights left and right, baby. This is not the day. This is not the time for you to be ignorant. That being said, y'all, go ahead and like this video. If you're not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. It is free to you and it helps small creators so much. Very much appreciate it. But until next time, I love you guys. See ya. Bye.